Hey everybody, today we're at the Fort Richardson State Park and Historical Site, and before we get out and hit on the trails, we're going to check out some of these old sites here where this old cavalry fort used to be.
Welcome to Blue Collar Backcountry, hiking, backpacking, and gear reviews for working people.
Here's a look at the Fort Richardson Hospital, and this is all original except for the roof. The roof has been replaced. Upstairs was the morgue. They kept the bodies upstairs to keep the smell away from the patients. The hospital was built out of sandstone, and there's no sandstone in this area, so the sandstone had to be hauled in. And they said it took 3 years to build this hospital.
See? Now she's going to lay those 5 little balls on there, and then she's going to pick this up, and she's going to slide it down and cut it.
Okay. Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, it's a little rough. It's
Okay.
old. But
Well, I
anyway,
think I got it
let's
Okay.
all right, she cuts them, she lays it back down, she lets it sit there and dry out. Guess what it just made? Little pills we take today. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you can see the distortion in this old glass, but you can really tell it's old when you're up close to it. You see little pot marks, distortion. They said one day they were taking a body down from the morgue above the hospital, and the body had swollen, and they accidentally dropped it, and the body exploded all over the place. So after that, they built a morgue back here behind the hospital. Out to the end of the hospital, you can see the bakery. This fort had over 700 men in it at one time. Officers had their wives and children here, and they put out over 700 loaves of bread a day out of that. There's the bakery from the front, and they refused to open the bakery and will not go in there because they swear that the bakery is haunted, that there's a lady that screams for her husband who was killed here, and nobody will go in here, not even the park staff. Here's the magazine where all the gunpowder was stored. I imagine this probably got some pretty thick walls, not to mention it's got a concrete roof on it. Let's see if there's something more we can look in there. Look at the thickness of those walls. Isn't that crazy? It's nice and cool in here too with those thick walls. Big high ceiling. You can see the hewing marks in the stone where they literally cut the stone out by hand. This is one of the Fort Richardson barracks, And you notice all the logs are small logs and they're running vertically instead of horizontally. And the logs were chinked with grass and horse manure. And there was 2 to 3 men per bunk. That must have been nice in the summers. They said it really stank. This is one of the last remaining officers' homes, or officers' quarters, that's left here at Fort Richardson. There used to be many. And the officers were allowed to have their wives and children here. Each officer had his own outhouse, and his wife and kids were only allowed to use his outhouse. All right, there's a look at what's left of the old Fort Richardson from back in the 1800s. Hard to imagine over 700 cavalrymen here, huh? Anyway, that was pretty cool, but let's go find the trails now. All right, there's a spring down here somewhere that say just bubbles right up out of the limestone, so we're going to see if we can find this. It's not a bad trail down here. Pretty nice. Pretty nice trail down in here, isn't it? I didn't expect this. Look at all the layers of limestone rock. Look like they've just been stacked in there. We're pretty fortunate in Texas. We get to hike and backpack most of the year. But I gotta admit, here we are getting close to the end of March, and man, look how green it is. This will give you a dose of spring fever, man. I love it. Evidently this is the spring. It's not marked or anything, but you can see the water just coming out from under that limestone rock, man. This is just a beautiful spot. There's a short little road hike when you come off the Rumbling Springs Trail through the camp area. Nice little camp area if you're into car camping. And right across there is the Lost Creek Trail we're fixing to hit next. This is Lost Creek. Lost Creek goes right up behind the hospital. And back in the 1800s, during the summertime, the soldiers would get down here and bathe in the creek. Problem is, they were bathing upstream from where the doctors were getting water for the hospital. Between that and them sharing water in the hospital, most people there died of diarrhea. This whole building is just loaded with animals that have been mounted or taken illegally by Texas Parks and Wildlife Operation Game Stop. So whenever the wardens find somebody that's taking this stuff illegally, then they confiscate it. And they've donated a lot of it to the Fort Richardson State Park, where people can come in here and they can actually touch this stuff and get right up there to it and see it. Ooh, yeah. All right, we want to thank y'all for joining us today. Taking a little look at some Texas history from back in the 1800s and checking out a pretty nice little trail out here at Fort Richardson State Park. We're going to have a little Jamaican style jerk rice and chicken and get on out of here. Thanks a lot. And remember, the best thing for your inside is outside.